everybody's focused on crypto, nobody's looking at blockchain. And when people are jumping into all these different coins and stuff like that, they're usually not knowing what they're investing in. Like, you just don't know. So don't just follow directions, don't just listen to my training, but please choose to understand. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Please choose to understand what coin you're investing in, what the heck that is, who are the leaders behind it, why is it working, why did it go down in value, why is it going up in value, what's going to happen next week, next month, next year, the next decade in that coin, what's going to happen, what developments. You need to understand. You actually need to understand what you are investing in. You wouldn't just buy a stock and go, okay, I'm going to buy a stock that manufactures coffee coasters or tables. What's going to make that stock go up in value? What's going to make that company go up in value? What massive problems are they going to solve for the world? What makes them innovative? What makes them any better than anything else? What makes a Ferrari better than a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge? What makes it better? And you need to understand that. Well, there's 1,350 different cryptocurrencies when I'm making this video. There's always going to be more, there's going to be less, more are going to get created. Some will get delisted from exchanges because they don't do shit. And if a coin doesn't do shit, it has no value and it can get delisted. So my simple point being with cryptocurrency, it's great if you know what to invest in and when to invest and how to invest. So you can make smart investments in good coins with good visions, with good developments that solve current world problems. Okay? And if you can do that and you know how to do your coin research and how to buy low and sell high, you'll make profits. Now, cryptocurrency is here to stay for a while. Do you really think that if there is 609 dead currencies, meaning 609 currencies that used to exist in the world that no longer do, what makes you think that all 1,350 different cryptocurrencies will exist tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, when 609 currencies in the world are extinct since the 15th century? Do you think Ripple's going to be here in a year? Do you think Dogecoin is going to be here in a year? Do you think XVG is going to be here in a year? Do you think New Economy is going to be here in a year? Do you think Power is going to be here in a year? I don't know. I'm just saying, question. Will it be here? Is the market supply going to be able to support a coin that's 1 penny going to $1? Is it scalable? Understand that not all these currencies will exist. Some are scams. Most are good. Some have no value. Understand that. What is here to stay, undoubtedly here to stay, is blockchain technology. One thing that's very simple to understand about blockchain is it goes outside of cryptocurrency. Blockchain was first used in 1991, right? Cryptocurrency didn't exist publicly till 2008 when Satoshi Nakamoto, dude, we don't even know if it was a dude or like 10 people, we don't know, right? Developed Bitcoin, said I'm going to use blockchain. Most cryptocurrencies use blockchain, some don't. Redcoin uses a process called minting. There is XLM, which has their Tangled network, right? There's a whole bunch of different ways of producing cryptocurrencies that are outside of just mining coins. But for the most part, they use blockchain. And what you need to understand about blockchain is it's simply a way of sending and receiving data electronically that's publicly distributed through a public ledger, keeps people honest, right? You don't have one governing body saying, look, I'm going to try to sneak this behind their back, people won't notice, people aren't going to argue with me because I'm the president, right? You don't have one governing body saying that. Everybody that owns this currency is part of the network, is part of the public ledger. So when you span all that information out and give it to the masses, keeps people honest. Everybody would have to lie the same lie to change the entire blockchain. You understand that? Everybody would have to lie the same exact lie, tell the story the exact same way with the exact same verbiage, the exact same data for the blockchain to be reversed, for it to be manipulated. And since you line up just 5 people in a room, okay? Person A tells a story to person B, B to C, C to D, D to E. By the time E gets back to person A, that story is not the same. It's different. People tell rumors. People change things. And by taking that and spanning it out over the entire blockchain, it keeps people honest. So blockchain is simply a way of sending and receiving data without it being able to be tampered with, keeping people honest, making it electronic, low cost, and extremely efficient and fast. All it is sending and receiving data electronically, right? It does that with cryptocurrency by recording, sending, receiving, and logging transactions, confirming it. Outside of that, it is used in accounting, it is used in payrolls, it is used in real estate, it is used in finance, it is used in manufacturing process, it is used with business operations. It's used in so many different ways, guys. One, for example, is in the manufacturing process, right? In the manufacturing process. Blockchain is used in the manufacturing process. There's a company called Providence, and there's a company called SkuChain. These companies have developed blockchain technologies for manufacturing companies to basically record their manufacturing process of a particular product, and if certain conditions aren't met at each interval of a manufacturing process, then it will find the disrupt in it. It will find the deficiency or the mistake in the manufacturing process, so it's exploited, and it will hang up that manufacturing process until that mistake is fixed. So it's sort of a quality control. And at the same time, manufacturers are now able to identify their weak areas, improve on them, and be able to scale their manufacturing process, saving time and money and being more efficient. So for example, if you made this pen right here, and you were the one that owned this pen company, right? And you were the one that shipped this. Except the only part you made was the ink inside this. You didn't make the cap, you didn't make the light, the logo, or the encasing on the pen. So by the time you were ready to ship, you had 4 different companies involved with the making of this pen. Well, oftentimes, the company that says, we own this pen, or we own this product, the company is going to be the one that takes the downfall or the brunt if something is messed up on this, even though the company may subcontract people out to actually make the parts for this product. So what if the contractor or the company making this cap is the one that screws up? They get shipped, the caps keep breaking. Well, the company that owns the pen is going to be the one that takes the heat for that, even though somebody else that made the caps is the one that screwed up. Having a blockchain technology that identifies the manufacturing weaknesses and has quality control. From an investor standpoint, SkuChain, Providence might be some great companies to invest in their stocks when their technology gets massively adopted. Now, I'm not saying SkuChain or Providence is the solution to the world's problems. I'm just saying start doing research on blockchain investments. That's why we have blockchain versus crypto. Blockchain's here to stay. Crypto's here to stay, but those aren't all going to exist. Guarantee that. Those aren't all going to exist. That's just a fact. You can't even argue that. Not all those will exist next week, next month, next year, next decade. Blockchain will. Blockchain and accounting. Being able to keep records safe. That way you don't have to shred your documents. That way you don't have papers lying out. You know, everybody says keep your social security private. Protect your information. Well, when it's protected in documents that are kept electronically that can't be tampered and can't be altered, that's pretty protected. Keeps people honest, right? Investing in companies that are choosing to create technologies to back up business operations. There's a couple companies in Vancouver, British Columbia, for example, that create blockchain technologies for industries. You're McDonald's, you come to them and say, look, I need to be able to make my manufacturing process smoother. I need to be able to record the times that my employees leave and show up and take lunch breaks and stuff very seamlessly. I'm tired of using QuickBooks. I'm tired of going to my accountant and every single week figuring out the payroll and having all these papers stacked out there, going through my computer, looking at all this stuff. I need something that's just efficient and effective and fast. Well, a couple of companies are going to be able to create this blockchain technology for you to back up your business operations with. There's many different companies like that. A great site to go to is investingnews.com. If you just go to investingnews.com, or you even type in on Google, if you type in investing news blockchain companies to invest in, investing news blockchain stocks, you're going to find a couple really good articles where they're showing you like 10, 12 different companies that are behind Bitcoin mining, that are behind funding for huge, massive mining operations, machines that have operations that have 700,000 mining rigs. You're going to find blockchain companies. You're going to find companies that are creating blockchain technology for payroll. There's a company called Bitwage, right? Bitwage. Bitwage has developed blockchain technology for employers to be able to pay out their affiliates, their employees, their subcontractors through cryptocurrency. And that way you don't have to deal with border-to-border exchanges and exchange rates and different things like that. You don't have to deal with banking and wire transfers and deposits where you have to pay a tremendous amount of fees. It saves fees, it's efficient, and you don't have to worry with country-to-country exchange rates, different things like that, when you have employees all over the place. Now, obviously, if you're not a business owner that has employees in every different location in the world, Doesn't matter. But from an investor standpoint, investing in the technologies that are going to run the future of how industry works, that's very, very, very good. Real estate, that's another one. You've got real estate. Real estate is starting to use blockchain technology. My realtor actually just got back from a convention the other week. She said we had to sit through an entire presentation and lecture on blockchain technology and how DocuSign is going to be phased out. DocuSign is a way to upload PDFs, sign contract, buyer's orders, seller orders, wholesale inspections, finance agreements, send it over, get it signed. Well, I remember when I bought a house a couple of years ago, and there's basically a disclosure that the buyer gives to the seller, and the real estate agent kind of, moderates that says, here's what I want to do, here's my offer, and the seller goes, okay, well, we'll accept, but we're going to get the refrigerator and the washer and the dryer and the stove, right? And then you go, okay, but I want the stove, and then they agree. You're about to sign that, and then you realize that they've taken out the stove. They just tried to sneak that by you, and you almost signed it. Blockchain keeps people honest. Digibyte has developed a platform called DigiSign, allows you to upload, send, and receive documents via the blockchain. Real estate might adopt into that. That might add some worth to the Digibyte project. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just saying blockchain technology is going to be a safer long-term bet than cryptocurrency. Diversify your portfolio, invest in cryptocurrency, coins that are good, that have a good long-term project, active developments that do solve a massive current world problem and cater to a certain industry. Invest in blockchain technologies and do your research on what blockchain is and different technologies. So from an investor standpoint, you can invest in things that you would either use or like or understand. Don't invest in stuff that you don't believe in, you wouldn't use, you don't like or understand. But do your research on blockchain technology, invest in cryptocurrencies wisely, realize that blockchain is the future, and when industries are backing their businesses and operating them through blockchain from an investor standpoint, you can get in right now because it's early. It's the early bird in cryptocurrency, it's the early bird in blockchain.